Hey everyone, this is Learning with Mr. Q. This video is part two of a series that we're looking at when we're talking about multiplying a fraction. Okay, and so just as a review, when we're talking about multiplication, it's just repeated addition, right? We're we're adding the same number over and over again, and so that's how it becomes a multiplication problem. You're just doing repeated addition. So here we're going to look at write the product. So the product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So right here, this answer, whatever that number is, we want to write that answer as a product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So that part's a little tricky. So I'm going to first start by multiplying 3 times 3/4. So if you remember, the first number is the amount of groups. So I have 3 groups. And I have the second number after the multiplication problem is 3/4. So I'm going to repeat that same fraction by adding them or by putting them in the groups. I'm just going to add them now. 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4, or 3 times 3/4 is 9/4, right? So that's the answer. That's the product. They want us to write it down as the product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So what they want us to do is take this product and then break it apart into individual pieces, unit fractions, right? The numerator has to be a 1. But right now, it's a 9. So just keep in mind what the denominator is. So I have fourths. I'm going to make 9 groups because I have 9/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and put it over here, 9. So if I have 9 groups, I want to break the 9/4 into individual groups. So I'm going to write 1/4 inside of each of them. One more after this, right? So you can see I have 9 groups with 1/4 in it. If I put those all back together, I end up back at the 9/4. So what they want us to do is take the 9/4 and write it as the product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So really, the way they want us to write it down is like this. 3 times 3/4 equals 9 times, because I have 9 groups. You see the red groups there? 9 groups with 1/4 in it. What they want you to see is that if you're multiplying 3 times 3/4, that equals 9/4, right? Or if you multiply 9 times 1/4, that also equals 9/4. They equal the same amount. It's kind of like, I guess it's not really exactly the same, but very similar. If you do 3 times 6 is 18, but if you do 2 times 9, that also equals 18, right? There's different ways to multiply numbers or fractions and get the same answer. So not exactly the same thing, but very similar. All right, so let's try another one. One more here. So we're going to write the product as the product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So I have 2 times 4, 6. So I have 2 groups with 4, 6. All right, so if I repeat that 2 times, well, that equals 8, 6. But that's not how they want me to write it, right? They want me to write it as the product of a whole number and a unit fraction. So I just want to break the 8, 6 apart into individual pieces. So the numerator tells me how many groups. So I have 8 groups, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to put the same fraction inside. So 8, 6. So I'm going to put 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, and 1, 6. Let me move this out of the way. All right. So we can see now 8, 6 has been broken apart into individual units, individual pieces. So if I'm putting my answer, 2 times 4, 6 equals, well, I have 8 groups with the same fraction in it. 8 times 1, 6. Well, that equals 8, 6, right? but so does 2 times 4 6. They both equal the same amount. We're just breaking apart the fractions into different pieces is what we're doing. All right, so I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching Learning with Mr. Q.